Some amazing sessions going on since morning. And what I really loved about what Mr. Sahani talked is that India is a country which has many problems, but then India is also a country which has equally number of solutions available to solve those problems. And we had a lot of my industry colleagues coming in from the software side, coming in from the hardware side, coming in from the communication side. And I always say that to actually enable them in today's environment, which is more and more moving towards the mobility side, what is one of the most critical component, and as I call it, the last mile of this entire digital journey, is this smartphone. And that's where we as Samsung come in. And in the next 15 odd minutes, I will talk about how Samsung has been working very closely with a lot of government departments and large corporations to bring in real digital mobility transformation and actually driving a lot of citizen and consumer benefits out of it. As all of us know that we are actually fast moving into the future. And technology, these used to be some of the buzzwords of yesterday. You know, a year back, we all used to talk about virtual reality. We used to talk about the robotics, the augmented reality, and IoT. Today, all of this actually is a reality. I used to speak a couple of years back, I used to say 2020, we would have more than 7 billion connected devices. And they are actually probably going to happen in this year itself. So a lot of this that's happening is changing the way we are today, either living at our homes with connected homes, the way we work with connected work, and connected community. When we talk about connected home, I'm sure all of us, with the way IoT is spreading around, see a lot of new technology coming in and making our lives more and more comfortable. Today, if you see in the media, a lot of ads are coming out with remote control on the refrigerators, on the ACs, on the lights, on the curtains. A lot of this is already happening, and more development is happening on the connected home side. Connected work has been happening for quite some time. In fact, I was away in Korea for the last almost 10 days, but no part of my work suffered because of the way video conference, the mails, and the connected, secure mobility is happening, that I could work as if I was sitting in my office. And all of you are actually involved in making it a connected community, with the smart city projects taking off, more than 100 cities under development or a rollout project from the connected community point of view. So all of this is actually happening now and here in India. But as these opportunities are happening, so are the challenges that are coming our way. And when we go and meet departments and customers, we see three key challenges that come back to us. The first and foremost is the concern regarding security. With the kind of cyber crimes that are happening, almost 1 every 10 minutes, there is more than 300% increase in terms of vulnerable hardware and attacks that are happening today. And we are all aware about it and reading it in the media every day. So security is a key concern and challenge that is coming in with this great opportunity of digital mobility. The second concern that comes across is how we, as a department, as an organization, are able to customize what we need. A few years back, when this whole thing started, we all started using applications, and we were happy using applications. Today, we want the applications and the devices customized to the way I want to use. And that's making people ask more and more of the industry, of the ecosystem, to be able to deliver that. And the third key challenge that everybody is asking for, I talked about security, I talked about customization, and the third key challenge everybody is talking about is the ease of operations. Today, if the government wants to deploy to hundreds of thousands of users who are working with citizens, how do they deploy it seamlessly? How do they control it? How do they service it? That's another big challenge that is coming their way. in terms of ensuring that they are able to drive end-to-end digitally. Now, keeping these three challenges in mind, I will talk briefly about how Samsung comes into the play. Before I go on, I just wanted to share that Samsung is the only company outside of another company in China that actually manufactures its own chip, its own processor, memory, device, and even the network. Most of you already may be aware that India's largest 4G network, run by Jio, actually runs on Samsung. The entire network of Jio has been enabled by Samsung 4G network. And in fact, this is also one of the biggest networks globally. So we as Samsung not only run the entire 4G network, we have our own processors, our own memory, and our own devices, and hence, we control the end-to-end ecosystem. So much so, we also have our own manufacturing. In fact, I'll talk about it later, but we have 2 manufacturing hubs within India, and Mr. Modi actually inaugurated the single largest mobile factory in the world, which is built by Samsung last year. And we have a capacity to build 10 million phones a month. So we will not only be making in India for India, but also we will be exporting out of India mobile devices. That's the kind of manufacturing capacity that we have created in India. Now let me focus on devices, as I call this is the last mile, and that's what we would like to discuss with you in terms of how we can enable this last mile for the digital journey in the governance side. We look at 3 key things here again: security, solutions, and services. Let me talk about security first, because this was one of the key challenges that we got feedback when we reached out to end departments. Samsung has its own enterprise platform called Knox. And the biggest thing that is there of that Knox platform is actually defense-grade security. And the reason why it is defense-grade security, because unlike other MDMs or security programs, this actually resides at the core of the device. It's part of the device inbuilt from the trust zone, secure boot zone upwards. It's not at an OS level. Hence, it actually creates a secure environment which is far, far ahead of any other alternate security system available to secure a device. In fact, Gartner rates our Knox platform amongst the top gradient as far as secure MDM solutions are concerned. Not only Gartner, be it GSMA, be it Global Mobile Awards. In fact, 29 countries globally actually take the standard, which is the common criteria standard, and have recognized Samsung as the key secure device for their countries. In fact, the US Department of Defense, the US Army, uses Samsung device with Knox customized for their use, and a lot of other European defense companies, defense departments as well. So that's how the Samsung Knox can secure all government communication that's happening right at the core level. It is not at an OS level, but at the core level, and hence it makes your communication almost impregnable. So that's on the security side. Let me talk about from the solutions aspect. So when we look at solutions, we have a solution as an extension of the Knox platform. We've got something called Knox Configure. And Knox Configure actually helps build up a customized application for you. I talked about the second feedback, which was customization. And that's where Knox Configure comes in. We actually open up the APIs of our devices. The applications that you are running, be it from NIC or be it from any other ISV that the department is working with, can actually deeply be integrated into the device. Now, this enables a lot of possibilities for the departments wanting to use it. It actually can convert the device, a mobile or a tablet, into just a custom-based device only where the applications of the department run. And I'll talk about a couple of use cases basis this that we've actually used and delivered to some of the departments within India. Let me give you an example of women and child. There, we've actually delivered thousands of devices into multiple states. And what have we done using Knox Configure? The first and foremost, as I talked about, if there are thousands of devices going out in the field, one is that you get them here, you actually get the application loaded, and then ship them out to each individual users. Through Knox Configure, what you can do is, you can remotely deploy the applications basis your requirement, which means if these set of users need an application A, and these set of users need an application B, you can actually define that using the IMEI numbers which are going to these set of users and these set of users. So we did a remote deployment of the application over the cloud. The moment the end user opened the device and connected to a Wi-Fi or a 4G network, the application with its policies was automatically downloaded. In this, we also blacklisted some URLs. So you can't go to Google and open up any application because this was supposed to be only used for WCD there. So we blacklisted a lot of URLs and only whitelisted the URLs that the department needed. So we can do that customization for you as well. We actually switched on the GPS for the time that the Anganwadi worker was supposed to use it, so that one doesn't come back and say, I failed to switch on the GPS. I forgot to switch on the GPS. So GPS was mandatorily switched on in certain time intervals, and it switched off during the night because that's not the time that we need to monitor someone's privacy. So we have that capability using Knox Configure. We also got the department logo done in as part of the boot logo. So when the device boots up, the department's logo comes in. So it looks more customized for the department. So this was what we did for WCD. We provided about 100,000 devices to the postal bank. And what they needed was, again, because they have to go to deep villages, they have to conserve battery so that it doesn't happen that by the time someone reaches the end of the day, the battery is drained. We actually killed all other applications on the device. Only the application for the postal bank was running on the device. And there again, remotely we sent in the application so that when he opened the device, the application was downloaded automatically. So a lot of such customization, the benefits that come in with use of Knox Configure, which we've deployed in various government projects. I just shared a couple of them, but there are many other government projects where we've deployed Knox Configure, and hence customization to the way the department wants to use the application. So I talked about solutions and I talked about Knox Configure here. Now let me talk about services. Services, again, what I mean is the ease of operation. Ease of operation actually includes a product of ours which is called Knox Manage. And that's again an extension of the Knox platform. So I'm not going to confuse you with brand names here, but you look at Knox as a platform which can enable a lot of services for you. And what does Knox Manage do? Knox Manage real time gives the flexibility to the department to be able to do changes, push new applications, push new content. So this actually makes the operations far easy. If a device is lost somewhere, remotely knock it off. So all of that control lies with the admin at the department, and they are able to actually see and ensure that you get the best out of the application and neither is there any misuse. So this also eases the way you are able to operate and deploy your devices. Let me give you an example of what we did with Indian Railways. There, we actually made the device into only a kiosk mode. A kiosk mode means, again, we killed all other applications, only the CRIS application was working. We again remotely switched on GPS. We actually looked at all backend services which were there, were removed so that there was better control and better manageability. And a lot of this was happening on real time. And hence, that was giving ease of operations to Indian Railways. Hyderabad Police has been using our device again with the Knox Manage platform, because that has made them deploy the application with various, so a lot of things are common which I've talked about, but one specific thing, they gave different level of policy hierarchy between different people. So there was the police, there was also the citizens, there were also within police traffic, and different departments had got different hierarchies and different policies. So that was something that they could actually remotely manage and deliver through Knox Manage. So, and these platforms which I talked about, Knox Security, Knox Configure, Knox Manage, these are inbuilt as part of our devices. So these come in as an enterprise level platform, filled in into the device at the root level, at the device hard level. So these were a few examples that I gave in terms of how Samsung has worked with a lot of departments, with a lot of government functionaries and private corporations in terms of not only giving a secure environment, giving a customized output, and also ease of operations. And while ease of operation, one thing that I really wanted to talk about here in addition is that our customer service. Today, we have 3,000 plus service points at about 6,000 plus taluka presence. You can actually from 6,000 talukas be able to reach out to the nearest service station, which is about 3,000 in India. Not only that, we actually run almost 550 vans going out into the villages for doing pickup and drop. That's more from the mobile space, but for our consumer durables, which are refrigerators or TVs, we are able to do service on spot as well. But for mobile, because you need a separate service grade area, we'll need to bring it back and then we service it and send it back. So besides the 3,000 service stations, we actually have more than about 535 vans going out deep into villages to enable further service. So this was from an operationally point of view. And we work with various departments, Panchayati Raj, Revenue, Agriculture, Justice, Education, Women and Child, delivering many such services using the Knox platform and Samsung devices. I just wanted to talk a couple of things more. One, besides the normal devices that you see, we also have very custom-made devices. One of them being Galaxy Tab Active. This is a rugged device, which is IP68, dust-proof, heat-proof, break-proof, and comes with an S Pen, so you actually can use the pen. You can use a glove and operate this thing. It's got a replaceable battery. It's got sensors inbuilt in it, and it's got biometric as well. So a very rugged device for defense, police, and a lot of rugged operations. In fact, railways as well, where there is a whole lot of motion. So rugged devices are something that we can use in those environments. We've also made custom devices with fingerprint and printer and card usage in case required for VCs and banking application. Lastly, just to end, why Samsung? As I mentioned, we are about 22 years in India. We are the largest multinational in the country with 11,000 plus engineers and about 45,000 plus employees. We've got 2 manufacturing sites. We've got 5 R&D centers. And we not only make in India, but we make for India, customized to India needs. This is a factory that we opened up. And thanks to all of this and love of our customers, we've been rated the best brand, most trusted brand for last 4 years continuously by Brand Equity and also TRA Research. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was all from my side, from Samsung, in how we can partner you in your journey with the mobile as the last mile in enabling digital transformation.